Hello, you're watching News 9 Live. We're going to focus on two very important pieces of news coming in right now. The Delhi police has agreed to register an FIR against Brij Bhushan Singh in the sexual harassment case registered by top women wrestlers of the country. The Delhi police has informed the Supreme Court, and I quote, "We will be registering an FIR by the end of today." Close call. This is big news considering there's a lot of controversy around it. And of course, it's about the rights of women, particularly sportswomen in this country. Joining me on the debate is my colleague, Pankaj Mishra. Pankaj, you know, this has been going on and a lot of questions were, raised. They also said, I'm sure it's part of the process, Pankaj, why is it that a prelim inquiry had to be conducted? Because see, it's a sexual harassment case.
Right, absolutely.
So I'm asking that why is it that the mandatory preliminary inquiry has to be conducted before the FIR will be registered?
Well, yes, Sudha, at least that's what the government had also said, and Delhi police wanted initially, to go for the preliminary inquiry. But as we speak, the court is also, Supreme Court is also hearing the matters of the wrestlers for which they had sought, and following which Delhi police has just mentioned that they would be filing the FIR by evening. So immediate fallout hasn't been the FIR. They are saying that yes, we will do it. As far as Tushar Mehta's point of view was also concerned a couple of days ago, he was also fighting or presenting the facts on the same basis that it had some time must be given before the FIR is filed. But Supreme Court had taken the view, was of the view that the delay part is something that is worrisome, and the wrestlers, their demand at least should be met of filing an FIR.
You know, Pankaj, I'm just thinking that these are women wrestlers who've got you medals. So they are not the usual people like us, they are celebrities who bring pride to this country. If they had to sit in Jantar Mantar since last weekend, if I'm not wrong, protesting, so obviously, I mean, I do not know, maybe there was more than met the eye, as in, it seems like, keep waiting, abhi karte, that kind of a thing, which I think has sent out, maybe, with respect to all the authorities, a wrong message, Pankaj.
Well, indeed, that's one reference, Sudha, that most of the people like you and me, common people, would also draw. That for them who have brought laurels to the country from international stage, especially in sporting arena, them not being heard is something which comes as a surprise. Secondly, the wrestlers also this time around pointed to the fact that why don't you make our submissions public to the committee which was formed earlier when they had sat on protest earlier, which was the committee which was headed by MC Mary Com. So that aspect also, they were saying...
That's not been made public, right?
That's not been made public.
Very strange now.
And their demand is that we have given enough proof in that, so why don't you make that public? Because the primary issue that police has is that not enough evidence has been given in this case of claims of sexual assault. So why should the police in the very first step register an FIR unless there is a proper probe in it? But the wrestlers on the other hand said that we have given enough evidence to you in the MC Mary Com report. Why don't you go through that? So whole tussle is going around that particular report. But now, as many would say, Delhi police has blinked, and by evening, they say the FIR would be launched.
Which is good news, although there has been a lot of, all-round criticism also. PT Usha, very surprised, iconic.
Absolutely.
Again, a woman athlete who put India on the world map, and she also being the chief of Indian Olympic Association, to say that why are they sitting on the streets and bringing bad name to the nation, they should have waited for the committee or whatever. What do you think, Pankaj? I think sometimes this official red tapeism is more important than standing in support of young sportswomen.
Well, I
it's
would
not a
agree.
gender issue, because you also stand in support. You were saying in the newsroom. It's not about gender.
No, not at all, not at all. It's not about gender. Once again, be it anyone at the helm of any sporting body, and especially if you are a sports person, sportsman or sportswoman, you and I, the person knows that it's not easy to, carve a sports person out of you, and that too of an international stature. So if these ladies and gentlemen are claiming of some misdeeds that have happened, the last thing that would be there on their mind is to bring shame to the country or, bad name to the country, because they are the ones who in the very first place brought laurels to the country.
They wear the badge, Pankaj. I mean, they wear the badge on your behalf, on my behalf.
Absolutely.
Also, but a lot of, support also from Abhinav Bindra, for instance, yet another icon. and also from Shashi Tharoor, I mean, who
Yes.
stood up and actually berated PT Usha, both belonging to Kerala.
Yeah, absolutely. But now the sporting fraternity is responding to it, and we saw it yesterday as well when some of the wrestlers did claim that they mentioned cricketers, but obviously the sporting fraternity now has responded favorably, in their favor. The best part, Sudha, here is that sooner or later, I mean, at least if they are able to generate this kind of support or a question or a look within, that is what is most important. That on one side you have your top sports person sitting on protest, on the other, the story is totally different.
Right. I think we'll wait when the FIR is actually kind of,
Absolutely.
registered. As of now, thank you very much, Pankaj Misra, for joining us on the broadcast. And now